Mr. Rao, if I can ask you first that, no one wants to create a panic. I am saying it at the outset. You're all learned men and can perhaps, speak about how this problem, whichever if you call it a problem, how can it be solved? The 5 guarantees many experts say are, approximately, I am giving you an approx figure, is around 50,000 crores. Now, the thing is that of course, the government calls it empowerment, Mr. Rao. But this is 12 to 15% of the next budget, the coming budget, which may be around 3 to 3.5 lakh crores. Now, tell me something, that is that the elephant in the room? That the amount that the government is committed towards fulfilling the 5 guarantees, Mr. Rao. Can you hear me, Mr. Rao? Please unmute yourself, sir. I don't think he can hear me. I don't think he can. Maybe we'll go to him later. So, Dr. Itnal, let me come to you, Dr. Itnal. This has been going on and on. It's I mean, whether it is because the BJP squeezed it dry, whether it is whatever other problems it could be. But do you, according to you, do you think that the Karnataka government seriously needs to do some cosmetic surgery to tweak its financial health, Dr. Itnal?
This is just Q3 of the financial year, and probably it is too early to debate budgetary issues. Having said that, but it is true that the guarantee schemes are going to cost the Siddaramaiah government nearly 1/4 of the budget allocation. And that probably even Siddaramaiah also knows, Congress party knows, and absolutely I don't have any doubt in my mind that Siddaramaiah also knows this, that it is not going to be easy to manage this kind of a additional burden on the budget. He knows it. But the bigger question, like you said, the elephant in the room is how are you going to compensate for it? Now, if this 50,000 crore rupees, whatever is being spent for development, welfare schemes like this, Annabhagya or Grajyoti or Gralakshmi or Yuvanidhi, whatever schemes they have announced, if that investment in the people is going to come back as revenue in terms of their expenses, their expenditures for various their livelihood needs, if it is going to come back as revenue, then the budget can be balanced. If not, what is that the government can do? They've already increased the power prices in the state. They've increased liquor prices. Wherever they could increase the prices, they have done already. Now, any more of that is going to be counterproductive for the government, because most of the price rise will hit the middle class.
Right.
Most of the welfare scheme goes to the lower middle class and below poverty line segment. Now, the middle class and upper middle class is traditionally with BJP. They say that no, these are freebies, giving free money to people, they will make them lazy. This is the opinion the middle class and the upper middle class wants. And accordingly, that will make the BJP's case stronger. And we must remember, Sudha, one more thing. Before the state budget, central budget is going to come.
Yeah.
So what central budget does, depending on that, the Siddaramaiah will have to draw his budget, and both the budget, for central budget, state budget, both of them will be drawing a budget, keeping Lok Sabha polls in the mind. Whatever are the budgetary constraints, restraints, pains, whatever, Siddaramaiah nor Mr. Modi can afford to, to string, to pull the purse string, so to say. They will have to be generous because there is election in the country.
Therefore, you said it's too early, but the point is that the entire budget debate has also come up because of Telangana, where the Congress has announced 6 guarantees, not just 5. 6 guarantees, and the whole point is that yes, there is politics and politicians on one side, and there are policy makers on the other hand, and they are saying that it's worrisome because you have to look at the coffers. Let's not forget that we've just emerged out of the pandemic, and it's impacted the economies of the world across, and also us. I mean, we are not such a affluent nation, as it were. Nizam Faujdar has also joined us, like I announced, ladies and gentlemen. There is Nizam, the thing is that yours is a newly minted government. Your government has is now slowly and steadily, of course, fulfilling whatever promises were made. But do you think the perception is that because you're fulfilling the 5 guarantees, the promises as it were, that you made to the people of Karnataka, a lot of developmental work is being impacted, and that shows up in the way your MLAs have crowded both Deputy CM and CM to say, please give us money, we have to actually create roads, maybe dig wells or whatever else developmental work has to be done. Do you face, and it's not a sitting on judgment on your party, but do you think, looking at the overall economic health, Nizam Faujdar, there is a toss-up between fulfilling 5 guarantees, which is an excellent scheme. I will not call it Revdi because I am a South Indian, it's not Revdi, and the welfare policies that you have, and developmental work, because both are important. गाड़ी के दो पहिए हैं ये.
Sudha, I think rightly said that the government is working in favor of the people, and if you take the overall expenditure of this five guarantees is about 35,000 crore, which is about 10 to 12% of nearly 13% of the overall budget.
Yes.
I don't think so. It's such a huge impact that the development work will stop, and we would not be able to make new roads or provide the healthcare facilities, or it could be gram panchayat level of development from an infrastructural point of view. I don't think so. This is a major concern. The problem today is that the BJP government, which left this, which came in, they have siphoned out about 3 lakh crores which they took as a loan. And we need to ask these people, how did these people spend those 3 lakh crores? And now asking the same question to the Congress party, why is this government bankrupt? They have to answer this question, why this government is bankrupt. I'm not saying the government is bankrupt. I'm just using their words saying that the government is facing cash crunch. Yes, there may be certain small, little bit of shortages, but Mr. Siddaramaiah and the entire cabinet, DCM, everybody is working towards its allocation of funds to the various sectors, various, the categories of the expenditure. We also are looking at how to streamline the revenue for the state. I don't think so. We should really get caught up. Karnataka is a very positive, the state GDP is on a rise. We have constantly worked towards that. And I don't think so. It should become a major issue in terms of the fund crunch, or it's not that, we are facing a lot of,
Right.
we don't have money to pay to the salaries or to the contractors. Yes, we are doing certain investigations to the job allocated to a certain amount, certain areas, which has not been
Right.
executed, but the payments have been done.
Yeah.
We want to understand why these payments were made by the BJP without delivering the work, and
Right.
how did these people siphoned out, swallowed, and basically cost a huge amount of exchequer,
Right.
deficit to the system.
All right. Bhanuchandar, I want to ask you, and this debate is, of course, I will repeat myself, in the context of the 6 guarantees that has been promised in Telangana. The financial health is only relative. I mean, if you look at the south and the north, of course, we will trump them any day, overall development and also the financial health. Look at Tamil Nadu, even Karnataka. But the point is that there is a big, veil in the room, as it were, that is the pandemic, which has had a cascading impact. Now, Nizam Faujdar says, yes, there is fulfilling the 5 guarantees is extremely important for our party. But, I want to ask you that, I'll again ask you that it is a toss-up between development of the traditional type that we all know development as, and not as fulfilling guarantees, Annabhagya, Grah Lakshmi, Grah Jyoti, or not all that. The thing is that it's not the opposition alone. Their own MLAs are struggling with it. I mean, in different talukas, and look at it. I mean, there is drought which is being faced in the state. Severe drought, severe water shortage is there. And on top of that, if you look at it, the 5 guarantees have to be fulfilled. Don't you think that development will take a backseat in some way or the other? Bhanuchandar.
First of all, Siddha, I want to repeat what you just said in the beginning, that there is no point of panicking now, because Karnataka is one of the wealthiest states, and it is 1.5 times the national average,
Yes.
the state GDP is. Okay, so But I really appreciate you for the fact that you are bringing this topic right now, because there's a saying that if you don't learn from the lessons of history, you will be condemned to repeat it. And we have.
Bhanuchandar, sorry to interject, I'm a woman. So I manage the budgets at home, and so for next Diwali, I've already put a budget. Anyone who spends 1 rupee more can actually see the door. That's it.
Absolutely, like, then perhaps you will be the right person to actually differentiate expenditure and revenue expenditure, because like we also want to build our nice homes, but and also keep a control on how we spend our money on luxuries and daily expenses. So yeah, like I'm all ears to listen to your point of view. Jokes apart, Sudha, the thing is, we have seen things happen where these kind of promises, you don't want to call it freebies, but these are freebies. And let's talk it out. Let's talk it out openly. For example, take Delhi, for example, right? Like Delhi had this free electricity and free transportation, etc., right? When they and a few things that they expressed in their manifestos, for example, building 20 more colleges, training 1 lakh more women, etc., they have been put in the back burner because they don't have the funds for it. So the lesson from that is, if there's an opportunity cost to freebies, right? Like it's preventing you from building capital assets, which will give revenue later. And this is not just a problem with Karnataka. Even my home state, Tamil Nadu, it's going through a crisis. For example, right now, the 5,000 rupee scheme, right? They are not even able to implement it properly because there is no funds.
Sure.
So even the implementation of what they have promised runs into problems because there is no cash, and and I think you took it upon at a pertinent moment. There is also a debate on two types of developments, right? Like one is the input based, and second is the output based. What we are talking about is the output based development. Second is input based in terms of creation of infrastructure, like skill building, investment promotion, so on and so forth, right? So those are positive. Those are definitely positive, and also accretive to the accretive immediate public goods.
Right.
So I think like we should keep that in mind, and there is a lot more to be done and lot more to be discussed, especially among the economists, to come out with some sort of a Dole index, if you want to call it that way, to see how various are performing. Back to you.
Can Mr. Rao, can you hear me now this time around? All right, I think we are having a bit of a problem with Madhusudan NBV Rao. Madhusudan B.V. Rao, I'm sorry, lead Public Finance and Decentralization Center for Budget and Policy Studies, Bengaluru, because he's spoken a lot about taking remedial measures right in advance rather than later sitting and losing your sleep over it. And I was reading him last night and I thought, this is a good topic, because in the context also of Telangana, which goes to elections on 30th of November. Nizam Faujdar, one question which I was asked to ask you, because you're from the party, is that you have to fulfill guarantees, of course, and you had to struggle with Annabhagya, and that, of course, then you later corrected it. Every scheme, and it was about procurement, of course, more than money here. But the point is that you still, managed to buy 33 high-end cars. How come that happened?
No, I don't think so. We should really what high-end cars, low-end cars. I think we are getting into this, the nitty-gritties or, minuscule issues of the entire expenditure. They are extremely important people. They need security in terms of travel. They cannot use the rugged out cars and risk a minister's life or the official's life to travel with them. So it's getting into who bought this car, who bought that car. But the overall, we have to ask. You're asking me 39 cars or 30 cars? Can you ask the same question to the BJP? What happened to 3 lakh crores that they borrowed? What happened to the 3 lakh crores, which is double the debt of the last 70 years? So I need to understand why is BJP they are writing off about 22 lakh crores of the capitalist, and just saying it's okay that we write off those funds because they took a loan and they could not pay back. I think we should ask these more fundamental questions, that why this economy has taken a beating across the country, just not Karnataka. Why is it taking the beating? Why is BJP a spendthrift and giving allotments to the various crony questions, and before asking whether we will be able to fulfill the 5 guarantees, 6 guarantees to the people? We will fulfill what may come. We will fulfill these guarantees and make sure the wellness, the welfare of the people is taken care of. We will not let go the healthcare system that we really need to enhance now. Mr. Dinesh Gundurao is working very hard on it. Second, Mr. MB Patil is working on the industrialization, how we can develop the various industrial, the zones that we have created across the districts. How we are going to basically enhance that? How can we bring industries to those areas? He's working extremely hard.
Right.
You ask Mr. You ask any minister across. We are functioning in a terms to basically enhance the revenue of the state. If that happens, it means the economy is doing extremely well in the Karnataka. If the Karnataka economy is doing well, the people of the last man standing in Karnataka will also benefit. He will have his own empowerment from
Right.
various sides.
Okay.
So we need to ask one more question, Sudha, that if the inflation is happening, why is it happening? If the coal is sold at 2 times the cost, and that inflation in the production of the electricity and the electricity consumed by the various industries,
Right.
their
Okay.
inflation is rising. Why is that happening? Can the BJP answer that question?
Right.
Why are they
You are in
standing with
power
the
now.
people who
Now
are
come
causing
on.
inflation? कर्नाटक में
निजाम
हम देखेंगे ना, we will make sure this doesn't happen.
वही
We
वही
will
तो
make sure that
इसीलिए तो हम बात कर रहे हैं। बीजेपी को छोड़िए ना, आपकी सरकार है,
क्यों नहीं छोड़ना नहीं
माशाल्लाह।
चाहिए उन लोगों को।
कर्नाटक में और क्या
3
चाहिए
लाख
आपको,
करोड़
है ना?
नहीं, 3
छोड़िए,
लाख करोड़ की चोरी की है, उनको पकड़ना जरूरी है ना मैडम।
पकड़िए,
3 लाख
जालिए
करोड़।
जेल में। आपकी सरकार है, आप हैं सरकार, सब कुछ आप हैं, आप करिए जो करते करते बनता है, क्योंकि लेकिन आपको अब आगे देखने की जरूरत है ना। आप पीछे
हम
मुड़कर
देख रहे
कब तक देखिएगा?